Try to hang a banner from. How's everybody doing?
All right.
I thought maybe you might not recognize me because I actually went out the other night because I just dyed my hair this week, or they dyed my hair, and I went to some club, and I mean a few people were literally standing like this close to me, and they didn't even recognize me until I tapped them, and they're like, "Oh my God, I didn't know it was you," because my hair was a lot longer and blonder, so I'm back in black, and I'm back in Cincinnati. So that's cool. It's kind of, I mean, for those of you that don't know, I was born in Cleveland, so this is my home state, and I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, but I'm also a Bengals fan too.
How's that work?
How's that work? Well, it works because Paul Brown, the guy that formed your team down here, was the Browns coach, of course. So,
Exactly.
So that's with the connection. Absolutely. Hey, cool outfit there, Eric Carr. The Eric Carr Fox outfit. That's really. Are you in one of the bands? Oh no, that's a great outfit. Did you make that? Wow, that's really cool. Is that real fur on the coat and everything? That's really, really cool. Who did you make it? That's awesome. Come up here so everyone can see that. She's got. I always loved that fox outfit that Eric Carr wore. I thought it was always a really cool costume. Well, everybody I think knows the drill here. We know what the deal is.
We're gonna run around with a wireless mic, Eric, and Ken.
Where are you? Where are you? Oh,
I'm right
you're
here.
there. Okay.
Ken's gonna run around with a wireless
Okay,
mic.
Ken, make yourself known up here so everyone can see what you look like. No, up here. They can't see you behind the speakers. And Ken's, that's a cool shirt. Ken's gonna walk around, and so that way, so everybody can hear the question that you're asking. You know, and don't be shy, because that's what I'm here for. So ask anything you want, no holds barred, and I'll try to do the best I can to entertain you in some way.
Just stick your hands up in the air and I'll come and find you.
Oh, let's see the Eric Carr outfit girl. All right, settle up. Come on up here. No, what's your name? Connie? Yeah. That's a cool outfit. Is this suede and everything? Oh, it's not suede? Oh, it's like faux suede. That's a cool outfit. Cool, huh? Oh, Gordon Giebert, there he is. I'm fine. You're welcome. All right, so I guess, Ken, you want to ask a question?
Eric, did
Yes.
you dye my hair because I did, or?
Did I dye my hair because you did? Yeah, I'm patterning my life after you. I'm working on it, you know, working my way back to Ohio.
Over here, Eric.
Eric, good to meet you, man. Kevin Black.
Kevin Black, how you doing?
Bass player. I've been a big KISS fan for a lot of years. I just want to know what it was like working with Alice Cooper.
Alice is working with Alice. He's actually probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever want to meet, and I mean it sincerely. No, I don't play golf. But Alice is actually, out of my whole career so far, he's the one I've worked with the most. I worked with him since 1990, so for 15 years, on and off, I've played with Alice and probably done more gigs with him than all the other bands combined. Absolutely. He's a great guy, and probably one of the easiest people to work for. Yeah, just so easy going. Is there something I said? You don't like the hair, right? He doesn't like my... But no, he's a great guy, and the thing I like about Alice is that he lets everybody do their own thing, like in the band. He's not worried about anybody like being showy or visual or, you know, whatever. He's not, there's not this battle of egos of like, you know, just sit back there and everybody be in the dark and don't, you know, draw any attention to yourselves. He wants you to be whatever it is that you are. You know, he wants you to express yourself on your instrument, and because he knows in the long run that the more entertaining you are, the more entertaining he comes off as a band. So, and I mean, I think I've only seen him ever get mad maybe 2 or 3 times in the 15 years that I've known him. I mean, every day he comes on the bus with a big smile on his face, and all he ever does is go golfing and shopping, and likes to play poker. He plays cards on the bus every day. He loves to gamble. And everybody, well, I don't play anymore, but everybody in the band usually after the gig they play cards all night long. And but I'm not into cards, so I did it the first few years. You kind of like, that's one of the things Alice kind of like makes everybody do, play poker with him. And so, I mean, he even has special chips that say AC on all the chips, his initials. And he's been doing this since the 70s. He's been playing cards with the band. But I just, after a while, I always would get mixed up. They make up all these crazy games, you know, that they make up like on the spot. And they become part of card game every night, and I would always get mixed up and always say, well, what's the rules on this game? And after a while I said, this is too much to think about. After a show, the last thing I want to do is have to think, because I just rattled my brain by pounding on drums for 2 hours, so I just want to relax,
Hey, Eric,
How you doing?
my name's Ken. Great to meet you, man. Ask you this question.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from London, England, but
Okay,
I
we're
live in
catching an
Virginia.
accent. So.
My question is, one of my favourite performances ever as a drummer, because I'm a drummer myself, is your performance on MTV Unplugged. And I just wanted to know how that rates in your performances.
How does that rank? Actually, if anyone's ever read some interviews, I always state that was one of the most favorite things that I've ever done, was doing that. That was a great experience, because it was unique, and like I've said before, for those that probably, like I said, read comments, I always liked it from a, is this something I said? Did you want to talk for a minute over here? Okay. Just kidding. I know, just kidding. It's just I can't hear myself when you guys are talking really loud back there. I always liked MTV Unplugged because especially from a KISS perspective, and I'm sure a lot of you fans will agree, a lot of people don't want to give KISS credit for the songs and sometimes the musicianship and singing ability of the band, and that to me showed KISS in a different light, that once you took away the smoke and mirrors, that the guys actually can play pretty decent and actually can sing pretty good, and those songs are pretty cool. I mean, that's stripping, that there was nothing to hide behind there. And so I was always really proud about that. And that was not fixed up. There was no overdubs, no patching up like, most people do live albums and they go in and fix it in the studio, and that was not fixed up because MTV doesn't allow you to do that. So what you saw is what you got. It's the real deal, and I thought we did a pretty good job, Although I remember Gene being kind of, he kept messing up songs, and we'd have to do, extra takes of songs because he kept messing it up. For some reason, Gene was nervous, and I don't know why, because nobody else seemed to be very nervous. And that day we did a sound check, of course, and Gene and everybody sounded great at sound check, and during the show, for some reason, he got a little bit, I guess, butterflies.
On Domino, right?
Yeah, a couple of them he messed up. We had to do like 2 or 3 times. He kept messing up the words or making mistakes, and we just stopped and redid it, So what you saw was the final versions, but some songs were actually done a couple of times. I know there's some bootlegs floating around of like the whole day, mistakes and all, or I should say multiple takes. Hey, who's running the PA? Because there's a little bit like the high end about the frequency about to feedback. There you go, okay.
Eric, first of all, welcome back to the band.
Thank you.
Also, do you have any idea on American dates?
Do I have any idea on American dates? I did see like a tentative rough schedule, but it's not finalized, so I don't know. Cincinnati was on it at Riverfront, or whatever you call it, Riverbend. Riverfront's Pittsburgh, I know, that's the enemy. At Riverbend, there's a date on there. I don't know exactly when, but I know there was a Cincinnati date. But that stuff's all subject to change. So I'm sure when they have it finalized, they'll post it probably. I would imagine sometime in the next couple weeks, something will be up telling you exactly. But I saw like 40 dates, tentative dates for the U.S. But, so that could be, lessened or added to depending on, what they decide to do. Why don't you leave the thing on?
Will it be the same acts that they announced on the websites that will be touring with you in the United States?
What was the acts they announced?
Grindstone, I think.
No, that was for Australia.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
No, those are Australian bands.
So
when you play, certain countries have what, like Canada has a law that says it's called Canadian content. So when you play in Canada, you have to use a Canadian band as an opening act. It's like some law that they have, so people don't come in and just earn a bunch of money in their country and then take the money away. They want you to contribute to their economy in some way, and Australia has the same law, so you have to use some banned from Australia, at least one of them, as part of the package. It's just rules that they have in those countries. So those are Australian bands which I've never even heard of before, and I know nothing about them.
Hi, Eric. My name's Bill. Welcome back to Ohio, right here.
Oh, hey, Bill, what's happening?
And I wanted to give you a big thumbs up on the AIDS benefit that you played with Queen and all of those guys.
Oh, thanks.
Was that a big rush for you playing with all those different artists, the varied styles and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was not. It was a. For me, it was like really a very special, cool thing from a personal point of view. But it was also for a good cause because it was for AIDS awareness. And for me, that's kind of touched home personally because I lost my brother to AIDS like 10 years ago, and some other personal friends as well. So I think by this point in our lives, everybody's kind of probably been affected by that in some way or another. But working with Brian May and Roger Taylor, for those that don't know, I was in Brian May's solo band in 1998, and I've done some stuff with the Queen guys since then a few times, different events. And but that was such a kind of overwhelming thing because I flew to, it was done, and for those that don't know, this was a Nelson Mandela AIDS awareness concert in Cape Town, South Africa that I did in beginning of November, or end of November, or whatever it was. And there was a whole bunch of acts that were on the bill, Bono and Edge from U2, Eurythmics, Beyonce, Anastasia, and a bunch of South African artists, and I got to be in the house band and play with all those different people. So it was something that was cool because I got to play, like you said, different music and with people that I would never have thought I would get to work with, playing like, U2 songs that I would, who would have thought that I'd ever get to do something like that. And that's going to come out on a 2 DVD, 3 CD set. I don't know the release date, but I know if you go to Queen's website, I think it's Queen Online or Queen.com or something. There's information about it. It tells you all the songs that were performed and all the information about the concert and stuff. But all the proceeds go to a charity, so it's for a good cause as well.
Well, that was a great job. And one quick unrelated question. Would you oppose to having your picture taken with a banana?
Would I oppose to have a picture taken with a banana?
Eating a banana.
In a banana?
It's a KISS groups that I'm in, and we have a banana picture site. How do you eat your banana? And we thought it'd be cool if you,
You kind of lost me on that one. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. But that sounds like a loaded question. That's why I'm kind of avoiding it. I'm like, oh, he's referring to my nose or my appendage. Okay, because it definitely not the appendage. He'll come to you.
Hi Eric, how you doing? Nice to see you in Cincinnati again, by the way.
Thank you.
You signed my arm last year and I did get it engraved, sir.
Engraved or tattooed?
Tattooed, engraved, same thing.
Okay. What's going on with this cord?
He's still got his arm too.
Why is this cord buried under here? Is there a reason? Okay, there we go.
Actually, I have a two-part question.
Okay.
The first part of the question is, now that you're back with KISS, is it going to be the original lineup makeup, or are you going to do something on your own this time?
It's going to be this. It's going to be the Peter Criss the Cat makeup. That's what Gene and Paul decided they're going to keep doing, and that's the way it is. So I know there's people that don't like it, but that's the way it is. I know what to tell you. Like I tell everybody, vote by participation. If you don't like something, don't go. Don't buy it. That's what I do.
Well, I was just wondering because when you were here before, you said something about you didn't like dyeing your hair.
I don't.
So I was just curious, and then I seen you with black hair this time. I was really shocked. Nice song.
Yeah, I know. Hello? What? Okay. Yeah, what, from up here? From up here? Oh, okay, I will in a few minutes. Somebody wants me to call somebody and tease them, so I will. So, I'm sorry, you're...
And the second part of the question is, in your mind perspective, will this be the last tour that KISS does?
I have no idea. There's no way to, there's no way to know what they're going to do. I mean, look, this is my third time back in the band, so it's like, it's what they say, the expression musical chairs. Well, for me, KISS has literally been musical chairs, It's like, who's on first, who's playing drums, So, I don't really know. I can only tell you, right now I'm going to do what they're doing for right now, and that doesn't mean I know what the future holds, because that's something that only maybe Gene and Paul know, or maybe they don't know. Maybe the future will, bear that out.
They just haven't opened for a band in many, many years. They opened for Aerosmith. It kind of makes me think it might be the last tour.
Well, I don't, put it this way, as long as, I gotta, look, those guys will have other interests, I'm sure, and other things they'd like to do, like we all have multiple interests, I'm sure, in our lives, but this is the one thing that gives them the freedom to do all those other things. It creates the finances and things, and the security to do whatever they want, We all know that Gene's buying China and everything else, so I'm sure that, he needs something to help back that up, those. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
We're from Cleveland too, and this is my little KISS army right here.
Oh, cool. How you guys doing? Are you guys Cavaliers fans?
Cavaliers and Indians.
Okay, I'm going to Cleveland next week, so to visit my
You need
dad.
somewhere to stay?
No, I got my family there. Actually, for those of you that are, how many people are here from Cleveland? Oh, cool. Because next Sunday at the Cleveland Agora, there's a benefit concert for a friend of mine, another fellow drummer that lives in LA now, but this guy, Tommy Amato, he's a really good drummer that I grew up with, and he's been fighting lymphoma cancer, and a bunch of his friends that played in bands with him when we were growing up are doing a benefit at the Agora, so I'll be there next Sunday at 3 o'clock. And they're going to have a bunch of bands that, some mostly like cover bands and things that he played with back in the late 70s, early 80s. But they're going to do like a benefit concert. There's going to be an auction of some items. I've got a Gene Simmons axe bass that we're going to auction off, one of my snare drums, some Alice Cooper merchandise. So all that stuff will be there on display, but I think a lot of it will be on eBay, like the Gene bass and stuff. So if anyone's interested in that kind of thing, all the money, 100% of it goes to helping this guy, this friend of mine. He's a really great guy, and he's been going through a rough time for like the last 3 years now. So, but for any of you that live in Cleveland, and if you got nothing to do next Sunday, it'd be cool, come out and say hey, and it's for, like I said, a good thing.
My question was, back when KISS was at Blossom,
hold the mic closer so everybody can.
When KISS was at Blossom, Paul said if they were going to play Gunned Arena, he asked the crowd if they would like to see McGunned. I don't know if you know if that's on the schedule, and what do you think about playing with Tommy Thayer, and how this all came about with you playing with KISS? Was it a phone call from Gene with the thing with Peter leaving the band, how that worked out?
Okay, first question, I think we're going to play Cleveland on this next run. Exactly where, I don't know. I mean, because usually in the summertime you tend to play outdoor gigs, the sheds as they call them. So I would imagine most likely it probably would be at Blossom, I guess, but it said Cleveland, that's all I saw on the dates, didn't say the venue. So how do I play with Tommy? I've known Tommy probably almost 20 years, since he was, actually when I first moved to LA, the first concert I ever went to see was Black and Blue at the Roxy, and they had just got signed to a deal, and it was their last concert before they were going to go record their first album. So I've known Tommy, like I said, 20 years. And Tommy's a really great guitar player. The thing I like about him is that he's very old school. He plays a lot like the kind of guitar players that I really like and was influenced by, more 70s stuff. And actually, I've done some gigs with Ronnie Montrose, the band Montrose, over the last couple of years. And when I first went to do gigs with him, I didn't rehearse with the band because Ronnie lives up in Sacramento, like San Francisco area. And there was no time, so my first gig, I just went and played. We did sound check a few songs, and that was my first thing. So to help me learn the songs or practice, Tommy Thayer came over my house, because he knows all that Montrose stuff, like note for note. And we were both like big fans of Montrose, so he came over my house and helped me, work on the material. So we have a lot of the same influences, stylistically and music-wise. So, I've done we did one show together, before when I was playing with the band, and that was this private gig in Jamaica a few years ago. So I only got to do, and that was the first time he ever played with him. So we never got a chance to really work together and get comfortable. It takes 6, 8, 10 shows to get comfortable when you get out on the road. So I think once things get in a groove, I think people are going to be surprised how it sounds. Because I know it's going to sound really good, because I know how Tommy can play. And I know we play really well together, so I think once we find our groove and our footing, I think I think people are going to be surprised. That's all I can say. Oh, what was the other question? What about it? We got a call from Doc McGee, and he said, you know, was I interested in playing with the guys again, and then everything got worked out from there, and here I am again. That's the short version, you know.
Hi, Eric.
Well, there's a lot of politics involved always, you know. And some of those politics are really, honestly, they're just, you know, more personal stuff that's really nobody's business but my own, not to be disrespectful. So I choose to keep that kind of stuff. You know, business is business, and sometimes it's better to keep that, you know. Believe me, you guys don't want to know about that part. You say you do, but you don't, because it's just not that interesting, you know.
Hi, Eric. How you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Good. I was in Atlanta last year, and I drove a real long ways to see you, and you couldn't make it because you were in the.
That was 2 years. That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I thought it was really cool that you had Gene called, and we all got to hear from him.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you know.
Well,
I'm glad that you know that I had Gene call him.
Well,
because the promoter seemed to think that Gene called him up because he was such personal friends with him.
But I also want to know what costumes would you all be wearing on this tour?
I think they're wearing the same costumes that they wore last year. Although the costume I have, we just did a photo shoot on Wednesday, and I got fitted for the costume last Friday, a week ago Friday, and boots and stuff. And the costume I'm wearing is a little bit different. It looks different. I don't know how much different, but I know it's different than the one that Peter was wearing. There's some things different about it. Plus, I also told him to make my boots a lot higher because I'm so small. And I mean, when we did the photo shoot, Paul and Gene were teasing me. They call me Cat Boy because Gene was laughing. He says because he says I look like a little kid when I'm wearing the makeup and the costume because I'm so small next to them. You know, just not only in height but in frame size. So. When I went to get the boots made, I asked the lady that was doing the measurements, I said, because normally they were only 5-inch heels, I want them 7-inch heels, just like the song says. And yeah, see, Tommy Thayer, who's supposed to be the big authority on KISS, you know, we were talking about at the photo shoot, I said, I want 7-inch heels, and he didn't realize why, and Paul goes, you know, like, you like my 7-inch leather ears, you know, you didn't realize that was from the lyrics of the song, because Paul's heels are 7 inches, exactly. And so I told him to make the same as Paul's. This way, I'll at least be kind of closer to them in height in the pictures, you know. Because I'm only 5'6", so with the big heels, I'll be 6'1".
How you doing, Eric?
Good, how are you?
I was wondering if you had talked to Bruce recently, and how's he doing?
I saw him online the other day doing a chat, so he's doing all right. I don't know if he was doing something this weekend or not. What? Yeah, no, we had lunch with him, but that was a couple weeks ago. Oh, it was 2 weeks ago. It was a couple weeks ago. He is all right, yeah. He's doing gigs with Grand Funk Railroad, and I think he's going to Sweden for some KISS Expos or something, right? A couple weeks? Norway and Sweden for a couple expos in a couple weeks. Yeah, and I think he's going to put out a DVD, a Union DVD. I think he told me he was working on mixing or something. He's always got some different things going on. He went to Australia recently, and check out his website. I'm sure you can find out what he's doing from that. Pardon me? He updates it. Yeah, unlike me, he actually updates his website. Why don't you leave the mic on?
How long did you know the band KISS before you became one of the members?
How long did I know them? I mean, personally?
Yeah.
Well, I never knew them personally until, actually I met Paul in 1989, so I've known Paul for 15 years now. It's hard to believe it's that long already. But that's when I first met any of them, was through Paul, and then, you know, that's my connection to the band, and that's how I got to working with them, because Paul and I got along, and when they needed a drummer, I guess Paul decided to ask me, I guess. But other than that, I mean, I saw them when I was young, when I was like 15 years old. On their first couple tours, I went and saw them. But I didn't know them personally. I was like everyone else, like all of you, just a fan going to see a band that I liked. What's happening, Peter?
How many bands have you been in besides KISS?
How many bands? A lot. A lot of bands. No, I've kind of played, hopscotch, throughout my career. But actually, some people frown upon that and they think like, oh, you're always in different bands. But you know something? I'm just a drummer who makes a living playing drums, and I feel totally fortunate and blessed that I've been able to still make a living doing that. So I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it as a plus, you know. Because if I didn't have a band to be in, I'd be out of a job.
Welcome back, Eric, to KISS. I just heard some rumors on the internet. I don't know if it's true because you know there are full rumors that.
Can you speak up?
Sorry, KISS is touring the states with Poison, and are you going to shake up the set list?
No, wait a minute, say it again.
Is KISS touring in the states with Poison, or are you going to shake up the set list?
Shape up the set list.
Shake up the set.
Shake up. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to happen. That I can guarantee you. What songs? I don't know, but I can guarantee you that's going to happen. You know. Because we can play anything. This lineup can play anything. There's no doubt about that, including cover songs, Led Zeppelin, whatever. No, but we can actually, because at soundcheck sometimes Paul and Tommy would like to jam. I know even before when I played with them, if Ace wouldn't show up to soundchecks, Tommy would play guitar, and we would play like Zeppelin and all these other songs. But we can play any KISS song. Yep. Oh, what's up? We can play any KISS song in the whole catalog. And actually the other day at the photo shoot, we had a list of every song off of every record and kind of talked a little bit about what songs we were thinking about doing, and we made some suggestions. But we're going to start rehearsals in about 3 weeks on April 12th. And we're going to rehearse for 3 weeks so we can have enough time to learn whatever we want to play. You know, but I guarantee you it'll be a lot different. You know, I'm trying to get them to do some more obscure stuff because I'm from like the old school KISS. I like the first 3 records, you know, Dressed to Kill, Hotter Than Hell, or just KISS. Anything off those first 3 records, for me, is what I would rather play. You know, I'd be happy if we just did all those songs and the hell with everything else, but that's just me. So I know we'll play some old stuff, and I mean, I even would like to see them do stuff off there, like, because I love Paul's solo record. I mean, I know that's still considered a solo record, but I think some of those songs would be. Don't you think some of those songs would be cool if they played live? Like, Would You Like to Know Me or something like that? I think those songs would go over good.
Hi, Eric. I don't know if you remember us. This is Ashlyn.
Oh, I remember her when she was really little.
Yeah.
She would always talk about Jean, wouldn't she?
Yeah. And this is how nice blonde looks in the KISS makeup.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you're not going to get an argument from me out of that. But you got to talk to the powers that be. Talk to Gene or Paul. They're the ones that like the black hair. Believe me, I don't like my hair black. I'll be the first to say that. Yeah. Oh, believe me, I know that too. Believe me, I notice it every day. When I look at myself in the morning, I'm like scared. Hey, I look at it like a uniform. You know, if somebody goes to a job and they has to wear a suit and tie, if you're a lawyer or a waitress, you have to put on your uniform, or if you work at Universal Studios and you have to dress up as Spider-Man. You know, one of my friends is Spider-Man at Universal Studios, and his girlfriend is Marilyn Monroe. So every day they have to dress up like that. So it's the same thing for me.
Did you ever wear my badge I gave you?
Which one? Yeah, you were the cop.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't wear the badge because I want to get in trouble, but weren't you like, wait a minute, weren't you like a state trooper or something like that? County, okay. County sheriff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
down here, was it Hamilton County?
Hamilton County.
I remember that because I still have it.
You better. I hope you didn't throw it away.
No, of course I have.
My wife's in here somewhere. She's another one now.
I still got it. Oh, really?
I got married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, great. Hey, what was it like playing with Badlands?
What was it like playing Badlands? Well, it was really good. You gotta watch it because of that. Whoever's doing a PA, to roll out the high end and everything, dude. Because it's like always ready at the feet.
You're standing 2 feet from the cabinet, there's not a whole lot.
You can turn these cabinets off in the front. I don't need to hear myself coming back.
You'll send a guy up that way to do that for you.
You can turn. I don't need to hear myself here. I can hear myself here.
All right.
It was actually on VH1 last night.
Oh, it was? What was it?
Winter,
Oh, the video, you mean like a VH1 Classics? Oh, okay. Yeah, the one with the fire, isn't there like fire? You can turn this mic off.
They've been playing you a lot actually with Badlands. I've seen Dreams in the Dark, and I've seen
Turn that one off.
Hey, there's a split console, there's a monitor engineer, he'll be up to take care of you.
Okay, cool. Hold on. There you go. There's your monitor engineer. Okay, what about Badlands? What was it like? Well, those guys were really good musicians, and but it just was not a good vibe in the band, to be honest with you. You know, like I know people don't always want to hear I don't want to sound negative or bad about it, but it just was. It was one of those things where I I thought, and some people thought the band had a lot of potential, but unfortunately it was one of those very self-destructive kind of situations. And it's just too bad because there was a lot of support from the record label originally, and a lot of money put into the band originally from the label and all these different things. But it just, a couple of people in the band had a different vision of what they thought they wanted to be, and the music business doesn't work that way. And so it became very self-destructive, and it just fell apart. And we just kind of always fought until the point where I got kicked out of the band, and they moved on with a different drummer, and the band fell apart.